Welcome to Comet. I'm Gretel from Customer Success, and in this video, I will help you get your Comet Backup started in 8 easy steps. First, you need to sign up to your Comet account at account.cometbackup.com. In your Comet account, you need to set up a Comet Server. This is your central management for backups and devices, which you can access on a web portal. You can either use a Comet-hosted server, which we maintain for you on an AWS account, or you can use a self-hosted server. In this video, we will go through the basic setup on a Comet-hosted server. You can choose your AWS region here. The Comet server can be hosted in these AWS regions. We can add new regions based on customer demand. Click on Create Comet Hosted after choosing a region. Your Comet server is now ready to use. Click on Login. The Start Guide is extremely helpful and will walk you through the steps to run a backup. Please do not skip this if using Comet for the first time. And with just 4 clicks, we now have a Comet-hosted server. To set up a self-hosted Comet server, check out our video linked in the description below. For now, we will follow this guide to start our first backup. But before we start, let me show you how you can change the language setting on the Comet server. Click on this icon. And as you can see, Comet is currently available in 15 languages. Now, let us complete the first step in the Getting Started guide, which is to add a user. In the Comet server, click on Add User. Type in a username and password. The username cannot be changed after creating the user profile. If you are using a Comet-hosted server, Comet storage would be pre-configured as a storage template. This means that we can automatically generate a storage vault for this user. Check out the guide link below for more information on storage templates and storage vaults. We have now created a user in the Comet server. Here, you can configure client settings such as time zone, language, and email reporting, among others. Next, we need to download and install the Comet Backup client. This is the second step in the Getting Started guide. Click on Download. You can download the client in this tab. An installer is available for Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and Synology devices. The system requirements are summarized here. These are covered in more detail in our process guide, which is linked in the description below. I will download the Windows installer for this video. Extract the installer from the zip file. Launch the installer and follow the prompts. The client software is now installed on the device. The next step is to log in to the Comet Backup client to connect the device to the Comet server. In the Comet client, you need to log in with the user credentials you set up earlier in the Comet server. After logging in, click on Register to register this device on the Comet server. Back in the Comet server, you will see that the device is now registered under the user that I had logged into. I can now manage this device from the Comet server. Now, let us configure a protected item to backup. A protected item refers to the Comet Backup product, such as files and folders, disk image, and so on. You will find a full list of our protected items in our product page, which is linked below. This is step 4 in the Getting Started guide. In the Comet server, go to the User's Protected Item tab. click on Add Protected Item. Choose the device that you would like to configure with this protected item. Choose a protected item to configure here. In this demo, we will set up a basic file and folder backup. Here, click on the folder icon to select files and folders to backup. Click on Save here. Click on Next after selecting the items to backup. Here, you can configure commands that run before or after this protected item is backed up. This is where you can configure your backup schedules. Click on the plus sign to start. Assign the storage here. Click on the Time tab to configure the actual schedules. Click on the plus sign to add backup schedules. After configuring the backup schedules, click on Save in the following windows. Comet supports deleting unnecessary backups to save on storage space based on retention settings. Please have a look at the guide linked below for more information on retention options. For now, click on Save. We now have a protected item to backup. Next, we will add a storage vault to set the storage location. This is step 5 in the Getting Started guide. A storage vault sets the location where the backed up data will be stored. The fastest way to set up a storage vault is by requesting it from a storage template. To configure a storage template in a Comet hosted server, go to Settings, then Storage. This is where storage templates are configured on a Comet hosted server. If self-hosting the Comet server, you will find storage templates in the Authentication Role section. To continue with the video, let us go back to the Comet hosted server. Here, click on Add. Click on Type to choose a storage provider. You can create a storage template for these storage providers. Choose the storage to set up, then configure the bucket name, access key, and secret key, and hit Save. You now have a storage template configured. The next step is to request a storage vault from the storage template that we have set up. Go to the User and the Storage Vaults tab. Here, click on Add New Vault, and then choose the storage template you would like to request a storage vault from. And we now have a storage vault where we can store backups. For more information on how storage vaults function, please check out the guide linked in the description below. Without a storage template, you will need to set up a storage vault manually, following these steps. As you can see, there are some extra steps needed to manually set up a storage vault, and it is much easier to use a storage template. Another benefit of having a storage template is that a storage vault can be requested as a new user is being created. This new user now has a storage vault configured, and there was no extra setup required. Now that we have a protected item and storage vault set up, we can run a backup. This is step 6 in the Getting Started guide. In the Comet server, click on Run Backup here. Select the storage vault you would like to back up to, then click on Backup. You can also run backups in the Devices tab here. The backup job is now running. Last, here are the steps to check job reports. This is the last part of the Getting Started guide. The Protected Item tab will show the result of the last backup job. Click on the link under Last Backup Job to access the job log. The job log can be exported. To view recent and all historical job reports, go to the Job History page. You can search for specific job types, and you can also pull up all of your job logs. There you have it. We have run our first successful backup with Comet. We have completed the basic steps to get started with Comet. Please check out the links in the description below for more information on Comet's features and settings. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.